Hello, I'm Darren Eisenberg, corporate MC, online presentation skills coach and speaker on positive influence. Thanks for joining us for the first in our Reimagine series of online events presented by Synergy Effect and our partners here and around the world. In this series, we're going to explore how events are being remarkably reimagined for online delivery. Reimagine is a bite-sized event designed to show you how it's possible to respond to the new meeting needs of the business world. To be effective online these days, you really have to radically reimagine your events, not just translate last year's two-day conference to an online delivery. As a professional MC, I can tell you that this engaging environment is worlds apart from traditional events where I'm on a stage and you're seated out there. This virtual house is a fantastic setting to have an event in. It's got lots of different spaces for speakers to deliver from, so each presentation can look and feel unique. And it's so realistic, we even had to take out a virtual mortgage to get it. Our guests in the house today will be the promoter of purpose, Carolyn Tate, the ringleader of relationships, Tracy Ezard, and the ruler of resilience, Chris Popp. And they'll each share with us a bite-sized burst of their business brilliance. And if you're keen to know more about their topics, they've all kindly provided slightly bigger portions for you to feast on afterwards. I'll tell you how to find them at the end of proceedings. So, online events today, they actually transport you into the world of television. Now, that's where audience attention is limited and distractions are unlimited. So it's vital that you keep your sessions short and the total event duration to under 2 hours. We call this snackable content. So imagine you and your speakers stepping into your branded set, primed for a high quality of online delivery. We'll show you how you can have your people engage with experts from anywhere around the world. And as I've mentioned, we have 3 excellent experts with us today, the first of whom is Carolyn Tate, author of The Purpose Project and an experienced purpose consultant. And we're featuring a purpose person here on purpose, because the next decade we're going to see continued systemic change which forces leaders to reimagine and reinvent the organisations that they lead, to realise there's a reason for existence which goes beyond profit. And getting this purpose right for the long term is both an art and a science. So to give us an insight, it's over to you, Carolyn.
Your people possess great untapped talents and passions that could be of real benefit to your company, particularly in these challenging times. To discover these gifts, you simply need to ask the right questions. Let me give you my own example. I was working in the marketing department of a large bank for many years. My leader could have asked me this simple question: Carolyn, if you could do anything you love today, what would it be? And I would have immediately answered, writing. I could have then incorporated that talent, which later became my purpose, right into my job. I could have written all the copy for our ads and saved the bank millions of dollars in advertising agency fees. There's a simple process that I use to help leaders ask the right questions, and it's based on this well-known model. Your people are already being paid for their job. Your role as a leader is to help them tap into what they're good at, what they love, and what the world needs, so that you can help them discover their purpose and bring it to work. And it all starts with asking simple questions.
Oh wow, Carolyn, I'm looking forward to hearing more about purpose from you later on. I don't think I've ever really thought about work on that level. Mind you, if I was to be doing what I'm truly passionate about, I'm very fortunate to be able to say that it would be exactly this. Well, either this or correcting people who wrongly type the word T-H-E-R-E instead of T-H-E-I-R in their Facebook posts. Look, if you would like to hear more about purpose, including the 8 tips for crafting a clear and concise corporate purpose, I advise you to tune in to Carolyn's longer version presentation. But for our next segment, we're off to the library to hear from Tracy Ezard. And Tracy is going to open the window a little on how to be a leader who better balances results and relationships, and not literally open the window, of course, as this is just a virtual house, but it's something that she calls ferocious warmth, which are 2 words that until I just uttered that sentence, I've never put together. Curious? I know I am, so let's head over to Tracy for more.
Have you ever experienced a leader who was so scary and intimidating that when they walked down the corridor, everyone wanted to jump under the desk? Or at the other extreme, A leader who was so into relationships and warmth and inviting that they were everyone's mate and they stayed too long at the barbecue. Isn't leadership messy? Those two leadership examples are leadership right out of balance. When great leaders bring both of results and relationships together, I call it ferocious warmth. Ferocious warmth leaders understand the need for results and relationships, the head and the heart, stories and data, strategic and emotional intelligence, and they lead with courage and vulnerability. Their biggest asset? They're the lead learners. They create a learning and collaborative culture that enables people to have a voice, be their best, and explore ways of creating an organisation that's extraordinary. Ferocious warmth leaders lead people in the way they want to follow.
Well, thanks so much, Tracy. And as in so much of life, the wisest path is to balance the influence of the heart against the influence of the head. And I like to think keeping your stomach happy too. If you'd like to know more about how to embrace ferocious warmth as a manager, as well as Tracy's fascinating concept of the ignorant truth, tune into Tracy's longer version presentation at the end. Our final speaker is Chris Popp, an expert on resilience, which is the ability to turn stumbling blocks into stepping stones. And who could have guessed that the year 2020 would provide so many people with so many opportunities to test their toughness? Chris will introduce us to the 6 characteristics of resilient people. And he certainly knows about resilience, as Chris lives what he preaches. In fact, this is what he got up to on a recent June weekend outside of Melbourne.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! 2 minutes.
It's not the smartest or the most skilled or the most connected who prevail when things go wrong. It's the ones that are most resilient. After all, shit happens. And when it does, it's about how you lead yourself and your team through that. Think of Gandhi or Jacinta Ardern. I do long solo walks in the bush, and inevitably in those walks, things go wrong. I lose my way, equipment gets lost. But each time I learn. And that's the key. If you can have the experience, if you can digest it and get the learnings out of it, you can bounce out of it and you can bounce back better. Less resilient teams, when things go wrong, they spend a lot of time thrashing around trying to figure it out just in time to hit the next calamity. The more resilient you are, the lower that curve is, the quicker you get through it, and the more you bounce back better. Resilience is learnable, and it's one of those key higher order skills.
So thanks, Chris. It is so important to learn the lesson that when one door closes, another door opens, which is both Chris's central message and what happened the time that I used a cheap joiner to build my kitchen cabinets. If you'd like to hear more from Chris, click the appropriate link on the website. Now, at this point in an event, we'd often transition to a Q&A session. So let's do that and bring all of our speakers here into the library for a quick chat. So please welcome back to Tracy and Chris and Carolyn. Hi there, nice to see you all. And I have a question for you, which is, why is it wise for a business to invest at this point in things like resilience and purpose and ferocious warmth?
Well, purpose provides an anchor for your people. It gives them a reason to turn up to work every day. And purpose is actually the other side of the profit coin. They're all both 2 sides of the same coin. And in this crazy world, it's the anchor that people need to come to work every day.
Right.
And talking about crazy worlds, we know that we're after results, but relationships are critical to getting there. So ferocious warmth leaders are able to do the balance that our people need to create a psychologically safe culture so that their great ideas, their innovations, their curiosity is bringing the best for your organisation.
And thinking again about that crazy world and having a sense of purpose and innovation, one of the things that we know that happens is when things go wrong, when there's drama and crisis, that people get diverted, distracted for long periods of time. Being able to bounce back better, being resilient and having good leadership and purpose means that you spend less time off track, you get less off track when you get off track, and when you get back onto the track, you bounce back better and more adept to the next time something happens like that.
Right, so in fact what we're talking about is that people are able to contribute more to their organisations more fully, and they're able to be more satisfied, which is all excellent, especially when times are tough.
Yes.
And turnover goes down, mental health goes up, and our profits go up because we're coming up with better ideas and better collaboration to get things solved.
Right. It all makes fantastic sense. So, look, some terrific points, and of course you go into more detail in your individual presentations a little bit later. But let's wrap things up here in the library at a time when people who are scattered need to feel that they're in sync, and when you and your businesses seek to make the lives of your customers and your team better. You can now deliver quality online communications and events with confidence and edge and an amazing setting. And don't forget, if you enjoyed the snack-sized servings of our speakers' topics or would consider having them speak to your organisation, there are tastier 10-minute versions of their talks available with a simple click. Look, I hope you've enjoyed experiencing how snackable content can help transform your online events into powerful and effective communication tools. I hope you join us again for our next Reimagine event. Thank you very much.